What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear. Here today we're checking out the Lake Champlain Barlow, right? This is a modern traditional slip joint right here. This one is from Traditional Pocket Knives or C. Risner Cutlery, designed by Austin Jackson. He is the owner of C. Risner Cutlery. And man, this is a full-size slip joint right here. Been a pleasure to EDC this thing. Really been having an awesome time lately enjoying slip joints and modern traditional knives, non-locking knives, and this one is a doozy. This one is really nice. Just spoiler alert, walk and talk on this thing is money 1000%. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk the good, the bad, the ugly about this knife. I've carried it for about some time now, and I'm just ready to share with you as much feedback as I've been able to gather about this knife. I did get this knife via the Lefty EDC knife pass around, so shout out to Kevin there for the opportunity to check this one out. Definitely really grateful for that. And this knife is going to be linked down below, as well as any other knife that you see in this video. It does help the channel when you use those links. If you end up purchasing a knife through those links, it does benefit the channel, but that is at no additional cost to you, and also completely up to you as well. With that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. First things first, let's get a quick measurement on this bad boy. I did mention it is a full-size slip joint, modern traditional, and we're looking at a total length here around 7.75 inches here, if I'm not mistaken. That is where this one's coming in at, maybe 7.7. The blade length is coming in at around maybe 3.3, 3.4. The actual cutting edge is right at 3 inches right there. Handle is going to be 4 1/4, right? So those are your measurements there. Let's do some size comparison first against the typical ones here in the channel, PM2 and Para 3 right there, right? This guy is going to be more Para 3 territory. Now keep in mind, from what I understand, slip joints typically run a little bit smaller. So this is considered a full-size slip joint, where it's actually, you know, a little bit more on the medium size for what you typically would consider a folding knife, right? Maybe like a PM2 will be more a full-size knife for a folder, right? Something that I will keep in mind right there. Here is the Demko AD 20.5. This one has a shark's foot blade, 20 CV titanium handles. And the smaller brother right here, the Shark Cub, this one has 20 CV slicer blade and aluminum handles as well. So in this case, it's actually, maybe a tad bit, 1/4 inch, probably bigger than the Demko AD 20.5, but notice the blade is definitely on the narrower side. It's not anywhere near as tall as the blade is on the other two, the Demko brothers. Check that out. Here's your Ontario Rot Model 1 and your Rot Model 2. So definitely larger than the Model 2, but shorter than the Rot Model 1. Take a look there for yourself. And of course, the CJRB Pyrite Alt, very popular button lock, and the crossbar lock Vosteed Raccoon. So the Barlow here is going to be a lot closer to the Raccoon, I think. Right, definitely just a tad bit bigger than the CJRB Pyrite. And let's do probably a more fair comparison here next to some other slip joints. Here is the Tuya Blackbeard V2, and here is the Jack Wolf's Venom. So check it out right here. The Lake Champlain Barlow still quite a bit bigger than both of the other two, right, by comparison. But again, this is just to give you a ballpark. By the way, reviews on both of these knives are coming up, so if you want to check it out, probably by the time you're watching this video, the review on the Blackbeard is already published, and the review for the Venom is coming up, but it probably, depending on how far in the future you're watching this, it'll probably be available as well. So what do we have going on as far as materials going on? First of all, we have N390 going on this blade here, blade steel N390. We have a just mean and, in my opinion, sexy looking sheep's foot / Warncliffe blade going on here. This one is a hollow ground. Just looks beautiful. I'm gonna tell you right now, right? Let me just make something very clear as early in the video as possible. This thing is a performer. This thing is a laser beam. This thing cuts better than a lot of $300–400 knives that I've put under this camera. So let me just say that, and you'll see that later on in the video during the cutting test. But man, oh man, the value is here with this knife, and it performs oh so well, oh so well. That hollow ground gets nice and thin behind the edge right there. oof, it's such a performer. That blade's still holding an amazing, the blade's holding an amazing edge. And this is not even brand new out of the box, right? This has seen some use. I've carried it for a while, definitely put it to use, put it to work. Other YouTubers from Lefty's Knife Pass Around have done the same. And this thing is still holding an insane edge. So that's what you got going on in the blade department. On the handle department, you have bee-blasted titanium bolsters. I believe the Barlow style is where you have the bolsters are a little bit bigger and you kind of go from narrow to a little bit thicker towards the back portion of the handle. I'm not a slip joint guru, but that's my basic understanding right there. We have some fat carbon going on here. This one has some whites, some blacks, and some oranges going on in there. And this is what they call the Halloween theme, right? Orange there for your pumpkin and all Halloween related or what have you. I think it looks nice regardless, Halloween or not. I mean, I like the way it pops, sort of like a pearl, carbon fiber to it, which looks good. You have to see, I don't think the camera even does it justice here. The fit and finish on this thing is like all these pieces were, I don't know, somehow microscopically made to fit perfectly. Nothing is out of place. The way the insets here line up with the titanium, it's spot on, like 1000% spot on. And just the quality overall is awesome. Check out the back spring here. It goes all the way around, loops around until around here, right, which is nice. Got some shine to it, right? Of course, that back spring is going to be steel, right? Whereas the bolsters are going to be titanium, right? Hardware is steel. Or do we have titanium hardware here, right? Honestly, I'm not getting any pull from the hardware. So that could be titanium hardware right there. That is very nice, right? Very nice. And yeah, of course, you got pull there on the back spring. All right, check that out. Very, very interesting. And honestly, I like the fit and finish of this thing a lot. I really do love the fit and finish on this thing quite a bit. I'm just gonna get that out right off the bat. I really dig it. Ergonomically speaking, this thing is amazing. Talk about a perfect, I guess, knife that doesn't give you a handle, perfect handle, doesn't give you a sore spot anywhere. This is it right here, right? Basically, you don't have any lines or anything like that getting in the way. Of course, this one doesn't have a pocket clip, so it'll go well with a nice slip for it, right? That complements it well. And yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 grip right there. The action on this thing is amazing. You got to hear it, right? Let's do acoustics really quick for that walk and talk, which is spot on. Take a listen to this thing. Oh, just pure music to my ears right there. Really, really good, So the pull on this thing is probably like a 6, 7, 6 or 7 on the pull right there. You do have a nice fuller on both ends, right? Which is nice, gives you additional grip when you're doing the little pinch right here, pinch and pull, right? Unfortunately, with slip joints, I've learned this the hard way. So some pros and cons to slip joints. One is that there's no other way to deploy the blade than to grip the blade with the other hand. I mean, that sounds like a no-brainer, but for people who are looking to getting into slip joints for the first time, so that does mean that you're going to end up with a ton of fingerprints on your blade. If you are someone that, that drives you insane, yeah, you're going to have your wiping cloth on the go as well to give it a nice little wipe there. Show it off to your friends, show it off to your family, co-workers, whoever you're around, right? I just don't like fingerprints on my blades. And for the most part, that's why I end up carrying a lot of, modern folders and whatnot. But here it's unavoidable. You do have to obviously touch the blade, pinch it in order to be able to open it, deploy it, and so on. For closing, not so much. You could just use your hand like this, kind of push it with, this portion of your hand there all the way in. But to open it, you have to pinch and grip and put your fingerprint right there. But anyways, small little gripe, I guess there's just no way around it. That's just how it works with slip joints, so you have to get used to it. That was one of the things that when I was first getting into slip joints, I had to just get used to. But aside from that, I mean, everything else here, the fit, the finish is really, really nice. Let's go ahead and check here. There's looking at this thing, and there's absolutely no milling going on the inside. It sort of makes sense because the handles already have titanium, already has to get ever so slim here, since it does have the carbon fiber inserts. So no milling here, and honestly it doesn't feel as heavy as you would think, right? The carbon fiber helps a ton on the weight department. This thing comes in at 3.4 ounces. For reference, that black beer, Tuya black beer, was 3.5, just a tad bit heavier. And that Jack Wolf Venom was 2.5 ounces. So yeah, again, 3.4 ounces, that is not bad at all, right? It's not bad at all for a full-size slip joint, modern traditional knife right there. That is a great weight to it. You maybe add, I don't know, let's just get scientific and say, you know, what if I'm just gonna toss in this Jack Wolf slip right here. So if we had that, that's a 0.6 ounces there. Even with a slip, right, you're looking at around 4 ounces total weight, which is not bad at all. Blade stock thickness on this bad boy, this one comes in at 0.11, which is nice. All right, 0.11 there. Let's try one more time. All right, kind of when it starts blinking there, it makes me a little nervous. All right, 0.11 on the blade stock thickness there, and the handle overall, right, it does come in around 0.48, which, you know, is typical. I see knives typically go for that 1/2 inch or 0.5 overall width to the handle, so that's not bad at all. Let's do a quick hardware check on this bad boy here. So we have TA. Honestly, I think they did a really good job here. It looks like TA all around. As usual, my tools are highly recommended and linked down below in the description if you want to check them out. It does help out the channel when you use those links, but that is at no extra cost to you. TA on the pivot, I want to say, is that a T10? I don't know, we could be in for a treat. Yes, we got T10 going on. Not sure why. Maybe there's a method to the madness, right? Yeah, you can have a captive pivot like the Chicago screw here on the black beer. So I'm not sure why they have that T10 going on both sides. They could have just, you know, made it captive on one side. So T10 in the pivot, and it looks like TA all around. So 2 body screws on each side. Boom, bam, money, right? So they did a great job right there. No T6s in the horizon, which is very, very appreciated. This day and age for a premium knife like this one is, you know, seeing everything TA and above is definitely what we have come to appreciate, especially when, you know, we're paying a pretty penny. So a couple of things to keep in mind. This one comes in at around $200. And I will be linking this guy in the description everywhere that is available, mainly the traditional pocket knives website. From what I understand, QSP is the OEM on this knife, and I mean, you gotta see this thing in your hands. The fit and finish, the quality on this thing is through the roof. That's how good. I mean, I feel like QSP definitely knocked it out of the park with this one. It really feels like, I don't know, a much more expensive knife to say the least. So N390 and C. Rissner on one side of the blade is what you have going on for billboarding here, and the actual name of the knife, Lake Champlain Barlow. You might think that's a lot of billboarding, but it's pretty common in most traditional slip joints to, you know, have some sort of indication of, you know, the model, the steel, and things like that. So honestly, it doesn't really bother me all that much. It's a little bit minimal in my opinion. So I did some research, and Lake Champlain is a lake between New York and Vermont, but then I also watched Lefty EDC's video, and I believe the grandfather of the owner was in a battleship that had that name, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a very interesting background to the knife, which is nice. This one has many different finishes available. So again, this one is the Halloween night version. They do have a camo carbon version, which is different, got some different colors to it, some blues. They have a natural micarta version, which sort of looks like the micarta right here on the Venom. And then they have my two favorites based on what I saw. They have the Jigget Titanium, and as you know, if you've been following my channel at all, you know I am a sucker for titanium, especially those that have a pattern. The Jigget Titanium looks really nice, and also the saw cut titanium looks really nice. You got to check those out. Again, link down below. Those are really, really nice finishes. And they also have a different blade option. So this one again is the sheep's foot / Warncliffe, but they also have a clip point as well. So I mean, you got some options there, right? You got some options right there. Honestly, I believe this knife coming in at that price really gives a Jack Wolf knife a run for the money, and honestly at a pretty good price, very competitive price compared to what you will typically pay for a Jack Wolf knife. A bigger knife overall, as long as you're okay carrying a bigger slip joint, which I don't mind at all whatsoever. Boom, money right there. Highly recommend it for that $200 price. And these could be in sale or on special at different times, so definitely check the website to see if they have anything like that going on. Let's do a quick paper cutting test. I got my Quechua Triad chicken scratch here for my review notes. So yeah, this thing is gonna cut, you guys. That's no secret. This thing is super sharp, right? I mentioned earlier that I am so impressed with how sharp these slip joints are. Sometimes I feel like they do a better job than some of the $300-400 folding knives that I put under this camera. That's how sharp these things are. And this one has seen so much use, so much use, and still performing so well, as if I had just unboxed it and it had a fresh new edge. That is just outstandingly sharp, and this thing holds a sharp edge for a long time. So obviously it can do paper, no problem. What about some cardboard? I got some everyday cardboard here. This one's what's left over from the Christmas tree box. It is dual wall cardboard. Remember, when cutting cardboard, don't cut perpendicular like this, but at an angle. And just check this thing out in action. Wow. Honestly, that is a laser beam. This thing cuts the cardboard. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, I'm just in awe, because I really wish, if it were up to me, I really wish all my knives cut this good. Like, really, like that good of cutting performance with this thing. I was definitely surprised when I did the unboxing and I did the very first, cutting test, and I cut through paper and cardboard with this thing. I was like blown away right from the get-go, and every time I got a chance to use it while I was carrying it, I was also really blown away. So you guys, let me know in the comments, right? Rate it on a scale from 1 through 10. How much of a sharp edge has this thing retained? Spoiler alert, a really good one for sure. Well, there you have it, guys. That is the traditional pocket knives C. Richner Lake Champlain Barlow. Awesome premium slip joint, modern traditional with the premium elements, titanium, carbon fiber, M390, all the good stuff that you love and expect from your traditional knife or slip joint. Again, the walk and talk on this thing, I can't get enough of how good this thing is. Really awesome. The acoustics are very nice. Also notice a little bit of a switch going on here on the blade. Kind of gives it a little bit of personality right there, which is very nice. I mean, this thing is this thing is a home run. This thing is a heavy hitter. Definitely a performer, a looker. The fit and finish on this thing is a 10 out of 10. The performance on this thing is a 10 out of 10. So if you're into slip joints and you're looking to upgrade, perhaps get into the premium category with some titanium premium materials, honestly, start right here. $200. Can't go wrong with traditional pocket knives. The Lake Champlain Barlow. I am really impressed myself. If it wasn't because I have like 3 other premium knives in order right now, right? And I promise you guys, I am not rich, right? I'm just an average guy. I do this part-time, and there's only so much of a budget that I have for every month. So right now I'm stretched all the way to April, but this thing is in my bucket list. I'm really hoping to pick one of these up very soon for myself as my own. That is how much I love this thing. Performance through the roof. Highly recommend it. Love me a hollow ground bell satin finish like this one. Oof, chef's kiss every single time. So check it out. Again, link below if you want to check details. But let me know in the comments, what other questions do you have about this knife? What else do you want to know about this knife? Anything, just let me know in the comments. Let's hang out down there. Let's have a discussion about this knife. Anything that I didn't cover in this review, feel free to ask me down there and I'll reply to as many of you as I possibly can. If you made it to the very end, you guys are the real MVPs. Go ahead and smash that like button. If you haven't already, I really appreciate it. It helps this video reach a larger audience. Subscribe if you aren't already. I promise you it'll be worth coming back for more. I make knife content like this on a daily basis, and you would not be disappointed. You can also support the channel a step further if you like. There's a link for Patreon down below, or you can simply become a channel member right here on YouTube, and you'll get access to exclusive perks. If you haven't checked out the unboxing on the American Blade Works Model 2, definitely got to check this one out. Very sweet premium folding knife. Got to check it out. I'll put a card for this video right here if you want to check it out next. Remember, the review on the black bear should be available also, and the one for the Venom is coming up as well. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for all your love and support. I really appreciate every single one of you. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.